Hey Gemini, what's up gang? I hope everybody is well. So we're gonna go ahead and do a what do you need to see right now reading. That was the reading that was voted for in the community tab. So let's go ahead and get into it. If that's something that interests you, do stick around. Gemini, if you're new to this channel, welcome. My name is Jessica. Please take a look at my description box because that's going to have any information that you would need to know. And yes, this is a Gemini channel. However, if you vibe, you tribe. So go ahead and make yourself comfortable. Gemini, if you're returning, welcome back. I hope that you're well. Hope you're taking care of yourself. I do hope that you're doing what's best for you, boo. Thank you for all the love, all the support. Gemini, thank you for all the good vibes. It really does mean the world, okay? All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to do the whole kit and caboodle. We're going to do angel numbers. We're going to do an animal message. And, of course, we're going to pull some cards. So, for your intuitive message, Gemini, we have the forces of nature, and it did come out with the star card, which this is the beacon of hope, right? This is the bright future. This is positive things to look forward to. And the forces of nature talks about things out of your control that are conspiring to work with you, okay? The forces of nature can talk about, good fortune, basically, or divine intervention, divine direction, divine guidance here, okay? A sense of fate or destiny. Things kind of just working beyond your control, but yet it's working in your favor. And I feel like that is backed up with the star that came out with it because that's an incredibly positive energy, okay? So the message that I instantly heard when that card, well, those two cards popped out was what you need to see is that everything is going according to plan. Everything is happening as it should. For some of you, that's going to be a very comforting message, and for others of you, that's going to be a very frustrating message, just depending on what you're going through right now, Gemini. But what Spirit wants you to see here is that, yes, things are working in your favor. Now, sometimes hindsight is 20/20. Sometimes when we look back, we can see the benefits of things. We can see why we went through something or why something had to happen the way that it happened, right? But when we're in the moment, it can sometimes feel a little confusing or a little disheartening because maybe you're not getting what you want at this moment, or maybe you're not seeing things kind of work the way that you would like them to. So to hear that everything's going according to plan when it's not going according to your plan, Gemini, can really be frustrating. So I just feel like this is going to be one of those messages where Spirit wants to come in and give you a little bit of reassurance, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this reading. Now, you could be into nature right now. You could really be wanting to connect with nature. You could be doing a lot of, sky gazing or star watching right now. You could be connecting with animals in a really big way. You could be dreaming about animals. Random animals could be finding themselves onto your path, okay? I'm getting things like landing on your shoulder. I don't know if a bird is gonna land on your shoulder or a squirrel or anything, but for some of you guys, it could be like butterflies, moths, something like that. Maybe bees or flies even. But I am getting this energy of interacting with nature and nature kind of calling towards you, okay? Or almost like being there, like being in your energy here, okay? Like making its presence known. And you could be connecting with animals on a very deep level, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this, guys. I don't know why I feel a little nervous, but I do. I don't normally feel nervous before readings anymore. So I don't know, maybe you're anxious about something, Gemini, or maybe you're a little nervous, or maybe you're a little apprehensive, or there could be something there. Spirit, what do you want Gemini to see right now? What does Gemini need to see? So how about 885? Okay, it says your angels are encouraging you to take some time to collect information and study your options before making any changes. Take extra care and assess what is needed before jumping in. Maybe that's that nerve feeling that I was getting here, because I do feel like there's something that you want to rush into, or that you want, right? You want to go towards something, you want to jump into something, you want to take a chance here, maybe take a leap of faith. And Spirit is not saying that you shouldn't. Spirit is just saying to make sure that you're, collecting all the information that you need. Make sure you're thinking over things really clearly, and take some extra care to assess what's needed before jumping in. Because you might just be like SpongeBob, like, I'm ready, right? But it's like, do you have everything you need for whatever this is that you're ready for? right? You don't want to, like, you know, be super duper excited to go to a cookout and then you didn't bring anything or something like that. That's kind of what I'm getting, guys. It's just this energy here of like, make sure that you have what you need before you enter whatever situation this is. It's okay to be excited. It's okay to, you know, be anxious about it and like want this and want to jump into it, but make sure that you're going to be able to show up in your best form or your with what's needed, right? That's just kind of what I'm getting. So what does Gemini need to see? Let's get another one here. How about 237? Okay. It says, your dreams are blooming rapidly before your eyes. Continue with your loving focus and intentions. Okay, so yeah, there's definitely something blooming in your life or something that's opening up, something that's expanding. I'm getting that card from the Moonology deck that says the energy is gaining momentum. So I feel like there's something here where it's like you're getting more excited, or that maybe that's why I feel that nervousness of like my heart beating fast, like I'm ready, I'm excited. I don't know, but it does feel like what Spirit wants you to see is that, yeah, your dreams are coming true. Your dreams are opening up right before your eyes. So continue to be positive, continue to think loving thoughts, continue to focus on the highest vibration possible at any time. Okay, let's get one more for what Gemini needs to see. Okay, we just on this page. How about 882? I know I always go for the middle of the page, guys, but whatever. Okay, some of y'all could have been born in 82. Okay, it says the journey that you are on wouldn't be what it is if it wasn't for those who lift you up. Angel wisdom is encouraging you to share love and gratitude with those who have supported you this far, okay? So what Spirit wants you to see is that, yeah, I mean, you know, the people in your life that are worthy of support, that are worthy of love, that are worthy of gratitude should definitely be receiving that from you, and you should be receiving the same, okay? So there's just the energy of gratitude and appreciation for how people have been there for you or how people have helped you out. Now, Gemini, if you're sitting here thinking, nobody's been there for me, nobody's encouraged me, nobody's helped me, then perhaps there's a need to show gratitude to your spiritual team, or to Spirit itself, or maybe for yourself for having your own back, okay? All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this with the animal message here for what Gemini gang needs to see. What does Gemini gang need to see currently, Spirit? What do you need Gemini gang to see? What do you need Gemini gang to see? I feel nervous. I don't know why. What do you need Gemini gang to see, Spirit? What do you need Gemini gang? Oh, okay. We have the elk coming out right off the bat. Gemini, I feel like Spirit wants you to see that, first of all, with the elk energy, this is divine masculine energy in this deck for me, okay? So maybe there's something here about not underestimating yourself, seeing the highest vision for yourself, knowing that you can achieve whatever you put your mind to. You know, you can achieve your goals here. The elk talks about being an amazing provider, being a solid partner, a solid foundational energy, you know, for people around it and within its own life, okay? So there could be something here about that. Spirit could also want you to see that your household is protected, your family is protected, right? That everything is going to be okay, that you've built a solid foundation. Perhaps there's something here around your financial situation too, because some of you guys could be working really hard. With this sun energy, how it looks, it's just giving like burnt energy. So some of you guys could be feeling like you're a little burnt out with work. You know, maybe you have debts that you're trying to pay off, or you're trying to get yourself into a situation where you can just relax, but it feels like it's like non-stop right now. Some of you guys could be feeling like you're burning the candle at both ends, and you're just like, I don't know how much more of this I can take. I feel like what Spirit wants you to see is that you are going to get there, right? Because right now you might feel like it's just, you're not going to, I don't know, for some of you guys, or you just need that encouragement. But yes, Spirit wants you to know that you are going to achieve your goals, and that you are a very strong provider for your family and for those around you. Now, for others of you, some of you guys might be wondering if you have what it takes, because we did see in the angel numbers where it was talking about making sure that you have everything that's needed before you just jump into something. Some of you guys might feel like there's a big responsibility, or there's a weight on your shoulders. Some of you might not be sure if you're up for the task or up for the challenge of whatever this is. You could be feeling like, you know, what if I fail? You know, then I'm a failure, that I'm not good enough. And then all of these, you know, self-loathing thoughts that cycle through are just going to be valid. But you know, Gemini, I feel like what Spirit wants you to see is that you are exactly the person for whatever this responsibility is. You're going to be just fine. As long as you're standing in your truth, you're standing in your integrity, right? You're trying your best. I feel like Spirit's saying that this is going to work out really well for you, okay? Whatever that is. So some of you guys are like, I want to jump into something. I want to do this. I want to invest in this. I want to commit to this. I want this. I'm just not worried if I'm just worried if I'm the right person for this. Can I do this? Can I stand up to maybe the expectations that I have for myself or that other people have for me? Maybe you're being asked to step into a leadership role at work and you're like, I don't know if I'm dependable. I don't know if I can do that, you know? But what Spirit is saying is that yes, you can, and yes, you are, and yes, you will, okay? All right, so let's get the elk energy out here. Hold on, I gotta find the element. Here we go. There we go, okay? So the elk says stable, resilient, headstrong, and the father. The great elk represents the earth element in its masculine form. This means it provides underlying support and stability amidst life's many changes. An elk personality, whether male or female, is fully established in themselves and knows their core values. They have become known and respected for acting in ways that would uphold those values. Sometimes the elk's ego can become inflated, but for the most part, they make damn good fathers, mothers, lovers, and friends. The world needs more elk energy. When in balance, supportive, kind, and consistent. When out of balance, pretentious, high and mighty. To bring into balance, eat and drink more consciously, okay? And you know, when I see eating and drinking and divination, it makes me think about the things you're listening to as well, right? What kind of rhetoric, what kind of guidance or advice are you listening to or that you're getting? Because these things can influence us, okay? So there could be something there. I feel like what was highlighted for me was the world needs more elk energy. And since this is your card, Gemini, I feel like what Spirit wants you to see is that the world needs more of you. Genuinely, authentically. The world needs your light. The world needs your energy. The world needs you to show up in whatever way that you feel like you're meant to show up, okay? I feel like you have a lot of integrity. I feel like you have very strong foundational what is the word that I'm looking for? Values. I couldn't think of the word. I feel like there's something here where you have core beliefs, core values, core convictions, core morals, right? And you walk it like you talk it. So you're not the type of energy here that just says one thing and then completely acts another way. You can hold yourself accountable. You can admit when you're not being in your highest and best energy here. But for the most part, you do with, you know, uphold what you say or what you believe, right? So there's an energy here of where you're just very honorable, Gemini, and I feel like Spirit wants you to see that about yourself, okay? So whether you are male, female, or whatever you identify as, Gemini, what Spirit is saying here is that you are fully established within yourself, and you do know yourself. You spend a lot of time getting to know yourself. A lot of us have been, at least in this collective, from what I've noticed from comments, I mean, obviously not everybody comments, so it's not going to be for everybody, but a lot of us have been on, you know, solo journeys, and we're like lone wolves, and we've really taken a lot of time to do the self-development, the self-reflection, and though nobody is perfect here in this collective, we are well aware, okay? We are well aware that nobody is perfect. We are all learning and growing together. We still have this energy of, you know, knowing ourselves, self-realization, self-awareness, okay? And I feel like Spirit wants you to see that about yourself. Maybe you're just not feeling so confident with the nerves I was feeling. I'm not feeling nervous anymore, but how I was feeling nervous at the beginning, maybe there's just some anxiousness, some anxiety that's been triggered recently or has flared up or something, okay? Maybe you're just doubting yourself in certain areas, and Spirit wants to come through to help you see that, no, you are that elk. Big elk energy, okay? Big elk energy for sure. Let's see. Let's pull from this deck, the Apothecary, okay? Why not? You know, let's keep it easy peasy lemon squeezy. So Spirit, what do you need Gemini to see currently? What do you need Gemini to see currently, Spirit? Let's find out, Gemini. What do you need Gemini to see, Spirit? Ooh, that deck is stuck, boy. Okay. Yeah, with the surrender to receive and then keep trying, it's almost like some of you guys might be trying when really what you need to do is just sit back and let go. And I know how difficult that can be when you really want something or you want to achieve a certain goal, Gemini. But I feel like what Spirit is saying here is that the best thing that you can do sometimes is just surrender. Surrender to maybe what you want to do, or surrender to what the situation is, okay? But there is this energy of when you surrender, you are going to receive something, okay? Maybe receive the confidence, or maybe receive the clarity, the answer, or maybe receive what this is in general. Okay, so what do you want Gemini to see currently, Spirit? What do you want Gemini to see currently? Okay. We have face your fear. Card number 38. Well, that makes a lot of sense with how nervous I was feeling in the beginning. I just feel like there's something big here. I feel like you have something that you want to achieve, or you want to walk through a certain door, or like the angel number said, there's something that you maybe want to jump into, you want to rush towards, and you might be a little nervous, you might be a little scared. I feel like your intuition might be speaking to you with that crow energy, but maybe you're doubting your intuition. Maybe you're not sure if your intuition is really guiding you correctly, or if you can trust your intuition, okay? You know, some of you guys might have listened to your intuition in the past. I just saw 1616 on the timer. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all are probably like, she got some ADHD, and does. All right, let's see what this is. 1616, okay? Take time to find balance in your life. You are being encouraged to slow down and consider your intentions carefully before proceeding further. See, my ADHD has helped me, y'all. It has brought me to places, okay? Look at that. Just look at that. Look at the synchronicity in that. So yes, okay? I freaking love Spirit. Anyways, yeah, there's something here where maybe you have followed your intuition before and you feel like you crashed and burned with whatever that was. But we have to remember, guys, we're not here for just always fuzzy, wuzzy rainbows and lollipops all the time. We're here to learn lessons. We're here to have experiences, and we're here to evolve and grow. And you can't really evolve and grow without some sense of challenge within your life, or being put in uncomfortable situations, learning about yourself, right? So if your intuition in the past has led you into things where you're like, what in the world, that did not end up the way that I wanted it to, it doesn't necessarily mean that your intuition was wrong. It could have just been leading you into something that you needed to learn, something that you needed to see about yourself, something that you needed to develop, okay? So keep that in mind, guys. But it does feel like you do want to jump into something, or you want to do something, and what Spirit needs you to see is that yes, you are going to have to face this fear. Now, there's a message here of making sure that you are clear in your intentions, making sure that you have thought things through, making sure that you've gathered the information or the clarity that you need here, Gemini. But yes, it feels like what Spirit wants you to see is that you are going to need to face your fears, possibly to take this quantum jump here, okay? Card number 36. It's like this would be a big step. This would be a huge change. It would be a huge transition. You know, and it's funny because with this grasshopper in the tea leaves deck that I have, there's a card that is the grasshopper, and it says situations that require a certain balance, or situations that require careful handling. It's something like that. But basically the message of the card is that, you know, you kind of feel like you have to maybe walk on eggshells a little bit, or handle something with care, because if you don't, it could go awry, or it just won't work out, right? So there could be something here where maybe that's what your fear is. Your fear is that you go in, you try hard, you try your best, and it still doesn't work out the way that you want it to, okay? So let's see what else we have here. Spirit, what do you need Gemini gang to see currently? What do you need Gemini gang to see currently? We have You Are More, card number 30. I don't know if this is a hawk or if it's an eagle, y'all. Somebody let me know, okay? I feel like it's giving eagle energy though. And you know, eagles can fly high, right? They can soar higher than most birds, which means that they have a broader perspective. They're able to see vaster and farther than a lot of other birds, and certainly a lot of other animals, right? So their perspective is very deep, you know? Mountains and divination for me represent the struggle. They represent the challenges. And I feel like what Spirit wants you to see is that you are more than your current situation. You are more than any of the challenges that you might be facing right now, Gemini, okay? I feel like Spirit wants you to rise above whatever this situation is. Allow yourself to see something with a broader perspective. The sun behind the eagle, sun representing clarity, everything coming into light. I feel like Spirit wants you to face something within yourself, see something in a clear way, and know that you are more. Okay, you deserve more, you are more. You don't have to live in this like limitation or this fear energy that you might have that could be possibly holding you back from certain things that you want, okay? All right, so let's get another card. We do have the illusion energy on the bottom of the deck, card number 13. The thing that I love about this card is that it has a shark on it. And, you know, sharks are very intimidating creatures, and yes, they can do a lot of damage, but are sharks really something to fear? You know, or is it the fear that surrounds the shark, right? Is it the stigma that surrounds the shark? Is it the reputation? Is it the stereotype that surrounds the shark that we fear? Okay, it's almost like the shark is not the problem or the issue here. It's how we feel about the shark that is the issue. And there's something here about that. I feel like you might have built something up in your head to be a lot worse than it actually is, or to be more of a threat, or, you know, something that's going to be harder to climb, something that's going to be harder to get past than what it actually is. And, you know, with this harpoon energy, which I hate that because it's like sharks are friends, right? Fish are friends, not food. Anyways, I feel like with the energy here with the harpoon, it's like you need to kind of take care of that fear, right? Okay, what else do we have here for Gemini guy? What do you need Gemini to see, Spirit? Let's get one more from this deck. What do you need Gemini to see? Okay. We have card number 21, perception. Yeah, this is a lot of this is about your perspective. It's about how you're viewing things, how you're viewing yourself, how you're viewing a situation. It's about your confidence. It's about believing in yourself, Gemini, okay? This is another card of illusion, which is funny because we just saw the illusion with the shark. I actually did some research after a message that I had shared a long time ago where I was like, I don't know, do ostriches bury their head in sand? And then I did research and actually no, it's very rare that an ostrich will actually bury its head in the sand. That's like a fable or something like that. They will, but most time that's because they're like looking for food. They're, you know, I don't know. I don't think they hunt. Whatever, guys, they're looking for food. It's an illusion because their heads are so small. So, or, you know, at a distance, it does look like the head is buried in the sand, but it's actually not, okay? So, again, another energy of your perspective kind of fooling you sometimes. You looking at this thinking, oh, the ostrich's head is in the sand, but in reality, it's not. It's just got a really tiny head. Okay, so there's something there with that. We also have surrender to receive, card number 2. That's that energy. And some of you guys waving that white flag, right? Because there's this energy here of like trying to control something. And we do see that with the elk energy, is all the good attributes that the elk has. There is that pesky little ego. And there could be something here where it's like, I'm trying to control my emotions. I'm trying to control a situation. I'm trying to control my actions. I'm trying to control the outcome. I'm trying to control how people see something or how people feel about things. Like you're trying to maybe control things, and it could be out of fear, right? Or out of these limiting beliefs here that we have. But what Spirit is saying is that you need to wave the white flag here, okay? That's what you need to see. Because as soon as you do surrender control and you just go with what your intuition is telling you, or you just follow your heart here, or you know, jump in. Of course, after gathering the information you need, we saw that it's like things are going to work out a lot better for you, because there's a lot here that we've seen about illusions and kind of feeling like things are one way when they're not, okay? All right, let's get another deck out here. Spirit, what do you want Gemini to... Oh, we have a card here. Card number 7, the Blue Avians, Philosophy, Releasing Karma, and Mysticism. Okay, so maybe that's a message for somebody. So what do you need Gemini to see? We're going to pull 2 cards from this deck. What do you need Gemini to see, Spirit? What do you need them to see? Okay. We have Chaos and Conflict, card number 33. Interesting. Okay. With Imagine on the bottom of the deck. This is really giving that same energy, guys, of you thinking that there's going to be more chaos and conflict than there actually is, or that something's going to be harder than what it actually is, okay? But I actually feel like it's not going to. And also, when I think of chaos, you know, obviously too much chaos is not a good thing, but a healthy dose of chaos is going to implement some kind of change within your life. And I do feel like that's something that possibly you need, okay, is some change. Now, I never do this, but I am feeling drawn. Y'all are probably like, who is this? It's an impastor, an impastore, right? Like from the Addams Family, because I never go for guidebooks, y'all. But you know, sometimes we just got to. What is this? 33. I just want to see something because I'm feeling drawn. Where is it? That's 30. 31. 33. Chaos and conflict. Essential meanings. Disarray, being at a cross, tension of opposites, and the value of chaos before order. Okay? So the Oracle messages says, opposing forces come together to create a turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well. Like I just said, as you become unmoved by it, scattered to the winds, you leave behind the parts of yourself that you no longer need. You get to reinvent yourself anew. Although conflict appears to exist externally, in its essence, it's also internal, okay? Projected outward and causing disarray. You may find yourself at a crossroads with someone else, facing a storm you feel you can't control. Yet every storm passes and the chaos leads to a reordering of things, okay? And then there's a relationship. There's a little bit more, but yeah, blah, 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 right? There's a relationship message. Stubbornness is keeping you at a state of opposition. The incessant need to be right will only serve to prolong the conflict deep down that you want resolved. This is an opportune moment to learn about your values, your sense of self, and what's really important to you, okay? So, yeah, there's something here, Gemini, where it's like this chaos that maybe you went through, what Spirit wants you to see is it wasn't for nothing. And that's that message that I got before, where if you follow your intuition, maybe you feel like you followed your intuition and it kind of led you into a situation that wasn't great. It's teaching you something about yourself, and it's breaking down parts of you that needed to fall away, okay? Life is full of learning moments, and sometimes they show up in the most unique ways, okay? Also with relationships, because the elk talks about being a good parent, lover, friend, right? If there is any kind of relationship situation, chaos, conflict going on in your life, like the book says, there's something here where it's like you might win, Gemini, but at what cost, okay? It's like there's this ego element here with the elk, and what Spirit wants you to see is that sometimes it's not about winning, sometimes it's about love, it's about compromising, and it's about assessing what's truly important to you, okay? Interesting, guys. So we will see if I'm going to read the next one, okay? That was Unfinished Symphony that popped out, but I feel like I'm going to continue on. I don't know if I'm going to read the next one, so what do you need, Gemini gang, to see, Spirit? Let's get one more card out here. We have Higher Power, card number 4, okay? I think I am going to read. Y'all, I don't really use this deck this much, and I have my own things that I'm getting, but I kind of want to see what the actual card meanings are. So the essential meanings: conscious contact with a higher power, the presence of the divine, seeing source energy in all things, and committing to a partnership with Spirit. This card reminds you that you are more than a person trying to get ahead and make things happen for yourself and others. You have an immortal soul and are gifted with a human life through which a higher power can express itself. At this time, you need to be conscious of your connection to Spirit and foster a way through meditation or prayer, and ask, what is the highest good for all, and how can I serve? Then get out of your own way and trust that there is a plan in your life that is more wondrous than you will ever know. You are always protected and divinely directed. Nice. Okay, the relationship message says it's time to address how much effort you give to your relationship with your higher power, called God, goddesses, Spirit, or any other name that is sacred and holy. Recognize that your partnership with Spirit is your number one priority. The appearance of this card also indicates there's a deep spiritual bond between you and another person who is an essential part of your growth and evolution. Tend to your spiritual connections and remain aware of your true nature. So that's what Spirit wants you to see, Gemini, that you are connected to it, right? And that you do have a very strong spiritual contract. You do have a lot that you are meant to do while you're here. That you have a higher purpose or a higher calling, okay? and that your spiritual connection is the most important thing here. It's more important than anything, right? Anything is how connected you are to the divine. So there's an energy here of asking, how can you serve, and getting out of your own way. Now, some of you guys, you do have a mission that you feel in your heart. Maybe some of you guys feel like you're meant to do something, but there's a fear surrounding that. What if people don't accept me? What if people don't understand me? What if I'm considered crazy, right? What if I ruin my life by choosing to go off in this direction and then everything falls apart? All right? But what Spirit is saying is that's just your perception, and that you're more than whatever life or whatever situation that you built for yourself that's not connected to this higher purpose or higher calling. Okay? There's an energy here of facing your fear. It's funny because my guides are like, what would Jesus do, right? Which is funny because we don't normally get messages like that. But it's like Jesus definitely wouldn't have stayed home because he was worried about what people would think. He kind of did the opposite. He kind of threw himself out there and spoke very loudly about what he believed in, regardless of what people thought. And he, paid his life for it. So there's really, and I'm not saying that y'all should be that severe or you should do that. I'm just saying that's what they're saying, How different would things be if Jesus had decided to stay home instead of going on the mission because he was worried how he was going to be received, or how people would feel, or if this is right for him, or am I really feeling or hearing the voice of God? Like, you know what I mean? So there's a need here to connect with your soul and to connect with what you know is true for yourself, and kind of let go of whatever these negative energies, negative maybe voices that you might hear, negative opinions, fears, self-limiting beliefs. That's what I'm getting, guys. Okay? We're going to pull a couple tarot cards, and we're not going to really clarify anything, but we are going to pull a couple just to see what we get, okay? So what do you need, Gemini gang, to see, Spirit? What do you need, Gemini gang, to see? I'm just hearing like you're calling. Your calling is calling, right? Like you answer the phone, okay? We have the Four of Water, Abundance. It's interesting because in most tarot decks, this card, the Four of Cups, it represents like apathy, boredom, dissatisfaction with life, maybe focusing on things that really aren't important and refusing to take the cup from Spirit, the higher cup that's being offered to you. And all those things could be true. But in this deck, it actually talks about abundance, right? Having an abundance of energy, and abundance of maybe emotions, and abundance of maybe connection to the divine. Okay? And I feel like both of these messages are actually true for your situation. What Spirit needs you to see is that whatever you're involved in now, it's satisfying to a certain extent, but it's not going to satisfy your soul. I don't know who needs to hear this message. I don't know why this message is coming through like this, but I do feel like this is what Spirit needs you to see. There's other things available to you. There's a higher cup that's being offered to you. You are more than whatever this situation is. Okay, you're more than whatever your limitations are, however far you think you can go, whatever you think you can achieve. Okay, some of you guys might feel like you're settling in certain aspects, like, oh, I can't go after that because that's too much, that's too big, it's just, not for me. And I feel like couldn't be farther from the truth. So possibly with this chaos and conflict that you're going through, it's breaking down some of those self-limiting beliefs or some of these limitations that maybe you have set up in your mind for yourself, and you are being able to spread your wings right now and fly free and move beyond fear and step into faith, y'all. Okay? Because Spirit wouldn't put it on your heart or in your soul if it wasn't for you, right? Yes, inspired action with the Ace of Wands. That's what that is. Okay? What else do we have here? What do you need, Gemini gang, to see, Spirit? We have the Knight of Pentacles. So slow but steady wins the race, okay? Within certain situations, because on the bottom of the deck we have the Five of Cups lost, and I'm kind of almost getting the energy that some of y'all might feel like your inaction caused the loss, or you didn't, you know, jump on the bus fast enough, you didn't take advantage of the opportunity, you decided to be practical and logical instead of going after whatever this is that feels like it's intense, right, and very spiritual. But what Spirit is saying is that's not true. You haven't lost anything. You guys know how I feel about this card. We do see that there are some cups that are lost here, but there's still those 2 cups that are available to you, Gemini. So what Spirit is saying is that you're maybe where you've hesitated in the past, or you haven't really invested in the ways that maybe you were feeling called to, or maybe there was some procrastination, or I don't know, whatever it is, Gemini, right? The slow energy here with the Knight of Pentacles, playing it too safe perhaps. Spirit wants you to know that you haven't lost out on anything, okay? Actually, it's more refined now, is kind of the energy I'm getting. Maybe something was excessive in the past, or it was just a little bit too much. And this chaos and conflict that possibly has happened through this loss has really caused you to see clearer, right? See what you want, see what's important to you, see what you want to invest in. You know, see how you feel or where you're at. Because the angel numbers, we're talking about assessing things before you just jump right into it, right? So, I don't know, everything happens for a reason, guys, and I fully believe that. You know, my intuition has led me to places that were very sketchy before. Situations where I'm just like, okay, that was unnecessary and unneeded. And Spirit's always hitting me with the, but is it though? Right? Like, what have you learned here? Seek a lesson. Move past your pain. Move past your ego. Move past your disappointment. What is the lesson? When you find the lesson, come back to me, right? And so I do that, and I sit and I think about it, and sometimes it takes a couple days or longer or whatever, but I eventually seek the lesson and I find the lesson, and I'm like, I got it. And so then I come back to Spirit, and Spirit's like, right? It's like that kind of energy, guys. I don't know. It's like, I don't know, guys. I don't know if anybody else has conversations with Spirit like that or not, but I really do. And I feel like there's something here where it's like, Spirit wants you to seek the lesson in something and see that everything has happened for a reason, but not all is lost, okay? Or you are built for something. I don't know. That's just what I'm getting, guys. What else do we have? What do you need Gemini to see? Let me get some water. If you haven't drank any water today, Gemini, pause this video and go get some, okay? That's just from me. That's not from Spirit. That's from me. This is too much, but 6 of Cups, pleasure. The big medicine wheel, which is the world, and then we have 10 of Cups, which is fulfillment. It's like you can find fulfillment in whatever this mission is, okay? And also I'm getting the energy of like you can find fulfillment in these worldly things, but nothing is going to satisfy your soul like the divine. That's just for somebody, okay? What else do we have here? What do you need Gemini to see? We have the 3 of Cups, fullness. I feel like Spirit wants you to see that you have a lot to give. Like the elk card said, you know, the world needs more elk energy. The world needs more Gemini energy, right? The world needs you. Breakthrough. I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show, right? There's a new me coming out. And I just want to live. I don't know. That song's coming through very strongly, so maybe that song is important or significant. But yeah, maybe you need to listen to it. But yeah, there's something here about like coming out, letting your light shine, allowing yourself to be seen, you know, showing up in the way that you feel compelled to in your heart. Because you are a source of light for many, right? It's like you're this waterfall energy, and these are these hands that can come in, these big buckets. You have this cornucopia of blessings here, and it's like Spirit wants you to see that you can do so much for the world through whatever this mission is that you feel called to. For whatever this is that you feel like you're more and that you're ready to face. You know, there's fear though that's involved here. I do want to clarify. I know I said I wasn't going to clarify. I know what I said, okay? I was there, believe it or not. But I want to know what this fear actually is, just really quickly. Just on some side stuff, okay? Sidebar. What is this fear that Gemini is being asked to face? Okay, what is this fear that Gemini... We have the 7 of Fire, endurance. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Am I able to do this? Can I handle this? Can I take it? You know, am I built for this? Like we saw with the elk, right? So yeah, that's the message here. That's the fear element here, is like, can I withstand the pressure? Can I live up to the expectations? Can I handle this responsibility? Is this truly what I'm meant to do? Is this truly where I'm meant to be? Is this where I'm meant to go? Is this what I'm meant to invest in? Is this truly my higher calling here? You know, can I endure this? Which is funny because I don't know why Jesus has been coming up a lot. Not that I mind. Y'all know I love Jesus and I love his story. But it's like, I do, when I think about Jesus, and I'm like, I try to put myself, as much as I'm able to, put myself in his shoes, because I in no way find myself to be like Jesus or anything like that. But I try to put myself into his perspective. And it's like, there must have been a lot of fear with his calling, right? And could he endure it? Because there's a lot there that he went through. You know? I'm sure there was times where he was like, am I strong enough for this? Am I built for this? In fact, we know there were, because he battled with this spiritual warfare of running or allowing himself to be caught or going through with it. Because there were plenty of times he could have just walked away, hid, ran off. You know, he knew what was going to happen to him. So it's something like that, guys, you know? It's like you have a choice here. And I don't normally see the choice with the Queen of Cups, but don't she look like she's offering 2 cups? Almost like Morpheus with the 2 pills from the Matrix. Like, you know, you can choose this. You can go back to your regular boring schmoring life. Okay, none of this ever happened. You never saw me. It's all a bad dream. Okay, or you can take this pill and you can open it to the truth. Okay, you can step onto this journey, but just know that there's no going back. Okay, it's like giving that kind of energy, guys. I don't know. Let me know, y'all. Let me know if this reading is resonating, because I just don't know. We have the small medicine wheel, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, things are going to drastically change with whatever this is when you step into it, guys. And there we go. Grandfather energy, the Emperor, Divine Masculine, the Elk. Okay? It's like things are going to drastically change, but you are going to step into your power here. Okay? And you're going to know that you can endure with that Buffalo energy. Buffalo talks about endurance. It talks about resilience. It talks about making it through life's hardships and still, you know, feeling optimistic and knowing that you're blessed. Right? And you have this spiritual support. For some reason with the staff, I'm just seeing like spirit here in this staff. Like that's your support system. Okay? So spirit is walking with you, Gemini, and I feel like that's what spirit wants you to see, that it is here. It's walking with you. Okay, let's get some advice and additional messages, which is kind of going to just be like additional messages. I want to use the Color Mage. This has been my #1 like go-to recently. I'm just in love with this deck. Not that I never was, but yeah. All right, let's see. Advice and additional messages here for Gemini gang for what they need to see in this reading. We have card number 76, Canyon, a deep perspective. Yeah. Something is more than skin deep. I don't know what that means to somebody, but it's like maybe you thought something was just surface level. Oh, this is just a sensation and it'll go away. It's nothing, it's not that deep, it's not that serious. I don't know, but something actually is deep. It goes deeper than just your skin. It's like soul deep. I don't know what that means for somebody, but that's what I'm getting here. But it's like the canyon here. And when you think about canyons, like canyons are developed over time. And so maybe it's taken a long time for you to come down to whatever this perspective is, but that's fine, right? But it's just like there's this energy here of like, allow yourself to go into the deep depths, corners, dust off the cobwebs of your mind, Gemini. And what is it saying to you? What are you being spoken to in regards to whatever this reading is for you guys? Because I don't know what this reading is for you. What does Gemini need to see? You're gaining a deeper perspective about something, though. I feel like you're ready to face the fear. I feel like you're more than whatever these limitations are. And I feel like there's a perspective shift here in regards to your perception. Like, you're seeing that maybe you weren't seeing something completely accurately, but with whatever this chaos, conflict, change that's happened in your life, it's like it's brought you closer. It's given you more clarity. Some of this, calcified old baggage or bullshit that was stuck on you has kind of shed away. Okay, what do we have here for Gemini gang? Ooh, we have card number 9, melon pink, compassion. Interesting. It's almost like there's a need to be compassionate with yourself, but for sure with yourself. I mean, possibly with others too, Gemini, but yes, for sure with yourself. Let's just land there, okay? There's a need to be compassionate with yourself, because I feel like there's something here where you just don't feel like you have enough, or that you are enough, or that you can, there's like a doubting your own confidence here, your own power, for sure, for somebody. Maybe doubting that you can be this divine masculine for some of y'all. Maybe some of y'all are newbies around here, or new to the journey, and you're just finding out about divine feminines, you're just finding out about divine masculines, and all that stuff, and you're just like, man, like, can I even handle that responsibility? Can I even be a divine masculine or feminine, but it feels masculine? It's like, yes, you can. Okay, I don't know. That's what Spirit's saying. Like, yes, that's what I need you to see, Gemini. Okay, I don't know, guys. They're giving me that song. Oh man, that song is like, oh God, I don't know. I have mixed emotions about this song. Part of me likes it, part of me doesn't like it. But it's from the Barbie movie where she's like, what was I created for? I don't know. Like, what was I created for? Why am I here? What does all this mean? I'm not trying to laugh at you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to laugh at you. I'm not laughing at you. It's just, I have no excuses. Let's move forward. Let's get another one for Gemini. What do they need to see? We have white. Card number 83, the light, y'all. The light. Okay, some of y'all could have been born in 83. Some of y'all could have been born in 76. Some of you guys could have been born on the 9th day. Take it as it resonates. Yeah, you're of the light, Gemini. You are this divine energy. You are the chosen one. That's what Spirit needs you to see. And the chosen one comes with a lot of pressure. It comes with a lot of weight. It comes with a lot of responsibility. It comes with a lot of growth that isn't always easy. And it's not enough to say you're chosen. It's not enough to go, yeah, I'm a divine one. I got a mission. Spirit's like, oh, okay, bet. Right? Let's go ahead and step into it then. Come on. They're giving me, I don't know why they're giving me so much about Jesus, guys, but they're giving me, when that guy was like, oh, I can't go. I got to like bury my father and I got to do all this stuff. And he's like, listen, let the dead bury the dead. We need to get up on this mission here, okay? That felt so cold and so harsh, right? It's like, but that's my dad, And Jesus is like, that's not your dad no more. That's not your dad no more. Your dad's already on the other side. You still have life to live. You still have a mission, and this is what's most important. Like the higher power energy said, that is what's most important. So, I don't know, guys. Let's get one more, because that was way too many. Let's get one more here for Gemini gang. Okay, well, it looks like we're getting 2 more. So we have orange, card number 16, creativity and vitality. And then we have card number 36, new time, inner calm and balance, right? So yeah, there's a creative energy here that's taken over you, or you feel a spark in some kind of way with this orange. Like the orange makes me feel energy, right? Zestiness, like ready to go. And this new time is like there's a new beginning. But Spirit is saying that you do need to develop some kind of balance or inner calm. It's like don't just rush or don't just jump. Gather the information, do the research. As some of you guys who are being called onto this divine path and divine masculine, divine feminine, all that good stuff, research it. You know, read up on what this actually entails for you. Take what you want, leave the rest. You know, education, information, it's power. So there's something here about maintaining a balance, but also being ready for this new beginning. That's what Spirit wants you to see. This new beginning, this new time is here. It's coming, okay? All right, guys. That was kind of a strange reading for me, but I do hope that it helps or resonates. I hope it does something. And I will definitely see y'all on the next one. Bye.